Blurgle. Blurgle Durgle. Blurgle Smurgle Durgle. God damn it. It was so good too. Like my timing. It's always one thing. It's always one little detail. I fucked up. Yeah. That's okay. I just cured cancer in the first 2 minutes, but I guess we'll never know. Oh, well. That's the way it goes. Wish I had my mic on. Gave the secret to a happy life. And now I missed it. Anyway, good morning. Happy Monday? Is it Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. Oh, we need our Monday picture. Wait, hold on. Where's my dinosaur? Where's my dinosaur? Where's my dinosaur? Where's my dino chasing? There we go. Mondays, am I right? Oh, why are you doing that? I just want to move you. I don't want you to fucking... Anyway, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oops. There we go. There we go. Mondays. Am I right? I guess I could move myself over here a little bit. Oops. Nope. That's not me. There I am. Mondays. Am I right? I hope everyone had a great weekend. All two of you. God, I can't do... Okay, never mind. I hope you had a great weekend. I actually did a lot of house... I did it... Well, no, not a lot. I did some house stuff. And the thing about it is... I used to... do you remember those commercials they used to have? Where it was like... Mom's not the same. She's depressed. This is depressed mom. Oh, Mom, you're not going to paint pottery with me? Is it depressed mom today? Remember those commercials? Do you remember those? I used to kind of watch those commercials and go, oh, come on. Now, come on. Is this how this happens? Not that I was like dismissing anything. I was just like, it was almost like so scary to me, that situation where your child didn't like connect, like didn't recognize you or whatever, you know what I mean, because of your depression. So I just thought, God, that's so scary. And then I thought, oof, God, I don't have that. And then life ensued. And I did have that. And now I do have that. And I'm getting treatment for it. But it's a long journey. And it's a very, I don't know. I don't think you guys don't know me from my before life. But I was kind of a different person. Not really, but I worked all the time. Like all the time. From early in the morning until late at night. I mean, I worked my life was my job. I mean, I certainly raised my daughter and, did a halfway decent job of that. But my even when she was little, I was the head of a fucking branch of a stock brokerage firm when she was born. And so I was leading a branch of people. And so work was everything. Like everything I did was work. Right. And then, for a series of events, I broke in like 2019 and then, COVID didn't help, but it was really before then that I kind of had my break. So now I'm like that depressed mom sometimes, not all the time, but like there's moments, right? I mean, when I get like really sad or like just like despondent in terms of like it's not in relation to what is real, right? But it is still a chemical reaction, and so I don't know, I've just been working on that for a couple of years, and it's not a straight line, I guess. That's what I'm learning. Anyway, I don't know why I thought of that. Not really sure. Because really everything's been going pretty good. I feel like I've been making progress over the last year with some pretty, whatever, deep setbacks, but still, I don't know. I think you just have to here's my bottom line. Take progress where you can find it. And don't be unrealistic about, number one, your progress, and number two, your ability to persevere, right? Because I think that as long as you can maintain some hold on your ability to persevere, which I know that sounds so serious because we're not in like a war-torn country or anything, but also depression and other things, other factors are also relevant to your situation, right? So I'm only referring to what my personal situation is. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't know. It was just on my mind this morning. But you know what? Let's get to baking. Enough. I just poked myself in the face. Enough of waking. Let's just baking. Depression is not fun. Take my word. But always remember, after a bad time, a good time. Yeah. See, I always think I do definitely try to focus on like bell curve, right? Like life is a bell curve. Ooh, Oh, after party cleaning this morning. That sucks, Lee. I'm sorry. I hope it's not a big cleaning job. I hope it's not like an amazingly hard cleaning job. But yeah, it is. It's cyclical. It's chemical. It's also like I do a lot when I'm getting really ramped up and upset. I do a lot of inward talking of kind of like, calm down. It's not that important. Take a break. Walk away. Take a breath. I have to I have to work really hard sometimes, and I think I don't know if you guys feel the same way. So, or maybe you don't. But I feel like sometimes my brain works really, really hard to avoid going sad. Nothing like stale beer smell in the morning. Oh my God, I remember those days. They were far away. Yeah, I stopped drinking in 2005. 2005 was my last drink. Oh my God, I fucking love coffee. But you know what I love? Coffee. It's almost time for the annual kickoff showing of Jaws. I think I might do that. I'm intimidated by sharing the Zoom link with people. Because I'm like, how am I going to share the Zoom link in an organized way? 2006, Badger? Yeah, girl. That's my sister in sobriety. Yeah, motherfucker. I don't count weed. I'm sorry. I know that's cheating. I get it. But, I don't know. 2000, congratulations, easily. Look at us. Look at us. And then I wish I had done this earlier, but I really switched. Luckily outdoor pool party. Yes, more cannabis than beer. Yes, girl. Yes, I'm liking all of that. But I think that what was I going to say? I can't remember. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, I know this is terrible too, because I wish I'd done this like 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago. But we switched completely off soda. We're now completely on water. And it's great. I've never felt better. Well, I mean, I feel better. I shouldn't say I never felt better. That's stupid. But I feel great. And I know that's dumb because all of you are out there like drinking water and you're like, yeah, Lolo, we know water's good for you. Shocker. Welcome to the party. Sorry, I'm hiccuping. I have the hiccups. Little success. Trying to teach kids such breath discipline. Yeah, panic breathing has me through many moments in the last 8 years. Controlling the respiration controls consciousness. Yeah. Oh, I've tried it all. I've tried it all. Yeah, but you know what, Oomph? It's worth talking about it. It's worth teaching them. It's worth it. 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 Let me tell you something about the high school that I worked in. It was 400 kids. It was mostly from low income neighborhoods in Brooklyn, right? Like that was the population of kids. And we had, as part of our physical education program, yoga and mindfulness. And we had the most amazing teacher. She now is running her own, her and her husband, who's from Tanzania. They moved back to Tanzania, and she's running with him a wellness retreat in Tanzania. And it's just, I love her so much. She was the most amazing person because she was a math teacher, but then she really got in love with mindfulness and yoga and kids and stuff like that. And she created this beautiful program of yoga and mindfulness at our school. And so you had these like gangbanger kids like modulating their breathing. And I'm telling you right now, I will say that program was a huge motherfucking success. It was a huge motherfucking success. Kids would complain, they would whine, they would laugh, they would do whatever. But I'll tell you right now, they fucking loved that class. And they looked forward to it every day. And they used those skills. I saw that. So I believe that really introducing kids to the concepts of mindfulness, breathing, meditation, yoga, all those concepts absolutely lands. It may not feel like it's landing. It absolutely fucking lands. Yeah, right on, Paul. Right on, Badger. Right on. Easily and me. 6 months? Those are such hard 6 months, Paul. They're so hard, but they're behind you. Those 6 are behind you. So congratulations today. Today. Congratulations. So anyway, that's my spiel. My spiel is, yeah, absolutely 100%. Please introduce your children to mindfulness and yoga and meditation and whatever, however you want to interpret it. Oh, so good. Oh, I miss those kids. They were so good. That was such a great school. God, that was such a great school. Instead of like between classes, kids walk from one classroom to another, right? So you have a passing time is what they call it. And it's like 3 minutes or something like that, right? Because we were only on 2 floors of a building. So it wasn't really a huge school. So we had like 3 minutes from them to get to from one classroom to another. And what we did was we played a song, the same song. I think it wasn't a week. It was a day. I think we switched it to a day. And so we would play a song, like, I don't know, like Motown or Michael Jackson or I don't know. I played a bunch of like newer stuff. Like I played some Fetty Wap. I played Migos. I played songs. We tried to do the clean versions. One time I didn't, and the kids caught me. The kids were like, Miss, that song. You know what that song is about? And I'm like, tell me what that song is about. So anyway, so we did that, and it was great. I mean, the kids loved it. Because it wasn't like a bell. It was like by the time the song is over, you got to have your ass in your chair. It was great. I love that school. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm wasting time here. We're supposed to be doing news. We're supposed to be baking. I gotta bake. All I have is these vapes. I need weed. I'm going through all my old, the end of my vapes. All right, let's read some news. First time smoking joint. I liked it much better than alcohol. Yeah, I didn't really like that. And then there's Tonglen breathing, which is kind of the opposite. I've heard of that, but I don't know much about that. I don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. I can't sing this morning. Don't know much about algebra. Wait. Don't know much about or mathematics. But I do know that I need you. And I know if you would love me true, what a wonderful world this would be. I've never heard, I have heard of Tonglen, but what is it? Is it like, in Tonglen practice, we visualize taking in the pain of others with every breath and sending out whatever will benefit them on the out breath. Oh, wow. I've heard of that. I don't know if it was in a yoga situation or what. Yikes. That's good. That's interesting. I should do it more. We should all do it more, right? I think that that's really the key. I think we have to rethink the work week and productivity. That's what I think we should start with. Fuck everything else. We should just basically quit alcohol when I attained age to drink legal in favor of weed and coffee. I like that. I know, doesn't that sound interesting? That sounds intense. Sounds really intense. Hot and humid today. Oh my God. You know what? I think it's going to get warm here in Los Angeles too. It was kind of warm yesterday. It was kind of nice actually. So hot and humid. I don't like humidity. That's the only thing I didn't like about living on the East Coast was the humidity. In the summertime. Oh my God. Oops. I remember moving to Boston in the summertime from San Francisco. And I grew up in California, so I had never lived anywhere else. And I grew up in Northern California, so the weather was exceptionally mild, right? Like there really wasn't it wasn't that drastic. And I remember moving to Boston in August. I literally moved in August. And I just remember laying in the middle of my apartment naked, and my cat was laying, we were both laying on the floor, don't move, don't touch me. I'm so hot right now. I just remember never understanding. I never knew how hot that, I never lived in that. It was weird. Okay. All right. We're gonna read some stuff here. Let me see what I can do here. All of Ontario this week. Oh no. Oh God. I'm sorry, Badger. That blows. Okay, let's. That's not what I wanted to do. You're so silly. I want to make it so it's easy to read. Okay, here we go. Don't know much about but I do know that I need you. Netanyahu dissolves war cabinet. Let's just go over some headlines. This will warm me up. Netanyahu dissolves war cabinet after 2 key members quit. Ruh-roh. I'll be flat out with the cat too. I'm telling you right now. It was a nightmare because I didn't know. I know I should have, but I didn't. It's San Francisco. It never gets that hot. Who quit? Here's what we know. The Israeli Prime Minister's widely expected move came after 2 moderates resigned from the cabinet last week. Netanyahu disbands his war cabinet after 2 of its 5 members quit. A Biden advisor visits Israel as the military warns of a wider escalation with Hezbollah. Netanyahu says he didn't know about Israel's plan to reduce fighting in southern Gaza. Analysts are skeptical. Aid groups welcome Israel's pauses in fighting, but they say it must do more to ease hunger. Sailors attacked by the Houthis and rescued by the U.S. Navy recount their ordeal. Bibi Netanyahu should go and jump off a pier, yeah. dissolved his war cabinet, an Israeli official said Monday after the departures of two key members prompted demands from far-right politicians for representation in the influential group. The two members, Benny Gantz and Gadi Eisenkot, quit Mr. Netanyahu's small war cabinet last week amid disagreements over the direction of the war in Gaza. The men, both former military chiefs, had been seen as voices of moderation in the five-member body, which was formed in October after the Hamas-led assault on Israel. Our own trouble in... Benny Gantz, wasn't he like the opposition leader? Isn't that? Michigan, too, is under a heat advisory, on vacation to float in pool, so should be okay. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. Yeah, really. Drink lots of water. Drink lots of water. Drink lots of water. Please. Please and thank you. A Biden advisor visits Israel. Okay, I'm sticking to kind of headlines, so I apologize. Please, if you don't like that, please tell me, and then I'll do something different. All right. A heat wave. Oh. Here's the thing. There's also this heat wave over, where was the deaths recently? Would love to have a pool, but only need it 3 months. Yeah. The kiddie pool. I loved kiddie pools. Kiddie pools are amazing. Be really careful. Okay. Social media platforms need a health warning. Yeah, okay. They do. You're right. Let's see. Is social media the new tobacco? Here's how to wean a child off social media. I want to see this. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Catherine, what do you have to tell us? Jason Marr's eldest son was 13 years old when Mr. Marr and his wife gave him access to social media, a decision the 44 regretted immediately. It became like an addiction. The son was quickly swept up in seeking the approval of others online. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is probably all true. Saudi Arabia, that's right. Greece, thank you, Badger. That's right. There were some deaths there, right? Would love to have a... Oh, yes, I said that already. Sorry. Wait, maybe I need to smoke more. That'll make me a little more smarter. Okay, so backpedaling with his eldest. Okay. So here's the thing. When they say something like, his son was quickly swept up in seeking the approval of others online. Okay. Could we stop on that one for a minute? Okay. You're out now, but you'll be back in the house in 30 minutes, back out in the evening. Yeah, I remember those days. I lived in Florida, too. Let me tell you, you are very strategic about your movements in Florida. Because it's fucking hot. Talk about fucking hot. It's fucking hot. So, I mean, the thing is I think that the swept up in seeking approval of others online isn't just a kid thing, right? That's an adult thing. So maybe we need to step back a little bit and just look at, I don't know. Oh, I'm a little overwhelmed by that topic. Right? Like, I don't know. I feel like I could go on for hours about social media and our mental approach to it. Come up with boundaries together. The American Academy of Pediatrics offers a free tool that can help you devise a family media plan, even if that is not something you've had as a family before. I'm kind of interested in that. What do we got? What's going on here? Make a family media plan. Create rules for media and technology that are in line with your family's values. Set screen-free zones, such as the dinner table. Set screen-free times, such as during homework or before bed. Well, but sometimes they need it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Have a one screen at a time rule and turn off devices not in use to minimize distractions. Sounds like a great idea. All right. Ask your child about what kind of changes feel doable. I like that. I love that approach. I love asking kids how to resolve problems. I love engaging them in the problem solving process. I think it's amazing. Homework, all screens. I know, that's the thing. Homework is all screens, right? Or there's at least some screens involved. So I don't know if that's really I don't know if that's really pare down the number of platforms? No, come on, let's be realistic. Propose a social media vacation. No, you can't do that because things happen in real time. Hold firm around protecting sleep and other healthy habits. I mean, I don't mind that. You could try. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. Yeah, now 21, their son has come to appreciate his parents' perspective. Telling them he wishes he wasn't given access in the first place, grow the fuck up. That's not true. That's not true. There's no way. There's no way a parent should be expected to battle a child and say, and completely deny them. First of all, when you completely deny someone something, that's never going to work out, right? I mean, unless it's heroin. I don't know. I feel like control of others is really a slippery motherfucking slope. And I feel like kids respond better when they have a sense of agency, when they have some invested part in what happens next. You know, like I feel like that really changes the dynamic of a relationship. And I'm not saying that's easy because sometimes there's just other factors. But my goodness, collaborate. Anyway, oh my God, why am I so mouthy this morning? Jesus Christ. What's wrong with me? Got a bunch of attitudes. Benjamin Netanyahu said he didn't know about plans to pause fighting, but analysts said he probably approved them. This is weird. Yeah, life is so weird. I can't find my mouse and I keep going to grab it. Isn't that weird? Sorry, I don't know where I am this morning. Camp snap. Camera. Couples who sleep in separate bedrooms are more common. Oh. I don't know. I don't know if I care about that. Let's see. Can AI answer the needs of smaller businesses? Some push to find out. Hey, how AI is revolutionizing drug development. I just want to read some of the headline of this. I'm kind of in high-tech labs, workers are generating data to train AI algorithms to design better medicine faster, but the transformation is just getting underway. So here's my question. What if the information they give it is bad? I mean, I suppose that's the point of giving it a lot of information. Hi, butterflies. I'm sorry, I call it a mouse. Is it not a mouse? Uh-oh. What is it? Is it not a mouse? What's the new name of it? Oh my God, now I'm freaking out. Butterflies, you need to educate my cookie. Oh, no, that's not what I grabbed. I went to grab my mouse. Butterflies, you're funny. I'm not going to do that right now. I went to grab the mouse. No. You're funny. I might just call it that from now on. Anyway, okay, I got to sit up. Sit up. You're funny. Good morning. Let's see. So yeah, what if they do something bad? It's okay. Butterflies, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I think it's funny. I'm like, is that what you call it? Now I get it. I'm just slow. You were funny. I was slow. The laboratory at Terray Therapeutics is a symphony of miniaturized automation. Robots whir, shuttling tiny tubes of fluids to their stations. Scientists in blue coats, sterile gloves, and protective glasses monitor the machines. But the real action is happening at nanoscale. Proteins in solution combine with chemical molecules held in minuscule wells in custom silicone chips that are like microscopic muffin tins. Every interaction is recorded. This blows my fucking mind. This blows my fucking brain cell. Every interaction is recorded, millions and millions each day, generating 50 terabytes of raw data daily, the equivalent of more than 12,000 movies. This is interesting. I hope it's interesting. The lab, about 2/3 the size of a football field, is a data factory for artificial intelligence. You call it a microscopic muffin. You call it a microscopic muffin tin? Good one, Oomph. Is a data factory for artificial intelligence assisted drug discovery and development in Monrovia, California. It's part of a wave of young companies and startups trying to harness AI to produce more effective drugs faster. A Terray chip with 32 million microwells. What? Those are tweezers. There's 32 million microwells on this little thing, each well serving as a reaction site for high-speed biochemical screening. I'm fucking blown away. Science fucking blows my mind. It blows my fucking mind. It means this thing that's so tiny, that's like less than a postage stamp, has 32 million microwells on it. Okay. The companies are leveraging new technology which learns from huge amounts of data to generate answers to try and remake drug discovery. They are moving the field from a painstaking artisanal craft to a more automated precision, a shift fueled by AI that learns and gets smarter. Once you have the right kind of data, the AI can work and get really, really good, said Jacob Berlin, co-founder and chief executive of Terray. Where's your guys' like hoodies? I don't get it. Most of the early business uses of generative AI, which can produce everything from poetry to computer programs, but not a decent maestro. What was it? What was your word? Oomph. You had a word that you were. Most of the early. Okay, wait. Yet drug discovery and development is a huge industry that experts say is ripe for an AI makeover. I went for my cookie again. No, I'm just kidding. AI is once in a century opportunity for the pharmaceutical business, according to the consulting firm McKinsey. Shibboleth, yeah. No, that's not the word. No, it was the word you just used. No, I can't remember. Okay. Just as popular chatbots like ChatGPT are trained on text across the internet, and image generators like DALL-E learn from vast troves of pictures and videos, AI for drug discovery relies on data. And it is very specialized data, molecular information, protein structures, and measurements of biochemical interactions. Muffin tin. No, it wasn't that. It was something else. Damn it. Anyway, that's like 32 billion muffin tins. Let's see. And it is very special. Molecular. The AI learns from patterns in the data to suggest possible useful drug candidates as if matching chemical keys to the right protein locks. Because AI for drug development is powered by precise scientific data, hallucinations. Oopsie. Where's my brain? Are far less likely than with more broadly trained chatbots. And any potential drug must undergo extensive testing in labs and clinical trials before it is approved for patients. Well, it sounds like they've already done it. Companies like Terray are building big high-tech labs to generate the information to help train the AI, which enables rapid experimentation and the ability to identify patterns and make predictions about what might work. Generative AI can then digitally design a drug molecule. That design is translated in a high-speed automated lab to a physical molecule and tested for its interaction with a target protein. The results, positive or negative, are recorded and fed back into the AI software to improve its next design, accelerating. This is amazing. The overall process. While some AI-developed drugs are in clinical trials, it's still early days. Generative AI is transforming the field, but the drug development process is messy and very human, said David Baker, a biochemist and director of the Institute for Protein Design at the University of Washington. Drug development has traditionally been an expensive, time-consuming, hit-or-miss endeavor. Studies of the cost of designing a drug and navigating clinical trials to final approval vary widely, but the total expense is estimated at $1 billion on average. That's the middle. It takes 10 to 15 years, and nearly 90% of the candidate drugs that enter human clinical trials fail, usually for lack of efficacy or unforeseen side effects. See, here's what's interesting, because I think this is actually an interesting use of AI, and I just wonder what the downsides are. I mean, I'm sure there are some. The young AI drug developers are striving to use their technology to improve those odds while cutting time and money. And here's the other thing. I know there was different conditions, etc., for the vaccines, but don't they did come across very fast, right? Like, which is great, but doesn't that mean other drugs could come across a little faster? I'm just asking. Their most consistent source of funding. God, I'm so sorry. Their most consistent source of funding comes from the pharma giants, which have long served as partners and bankers to smaller research ventures. Today's AI drug makers are typically focused on accelerating the preclinical stages of development, which have conventionally taken 4 to 7 years. Some may try to go into clinical trials themselves, but that stage is where major pharma corporations usually take over, operating the expensive human trials, which can take another 7 years. Doesn't matter if the average bear can't afford them. Yeah. Right. Well, this is the thing. I just want to know if, like, is pharma going to let them accelerate? I don't know. I'm just wondering. That's all. For the established drug companies, the partner strategy is a relatively low-cost path to tap innovation. For them, it's like taking an Uber to get you somewhere instead of having to buy a car, said Gerardo Ubaz Carrion, a former biotech investment banker at Bank of America Securities. Oh, look, there's the pictures. I'm working in the lab, and there is all your blood. The major pharma companies pay their research partners for reaching milestones toward drug candidates, which can reach hundreds of millions of dollars over years. And if a drug is eventually approved and becomes a commercial success, there is a stream of royalty income. Companies like Terray, Recursion Pharmaceuticals, Schrödinger, and Isomorphic Labs are pursuing breakthroughs. But there are broadly two different paths, those that are building big labs and those that aren't. Isomorphic, the drug discovery spin-out from Google DeepMind, the tech giant's central AI group, takes the view that the better the AI, the less data that's needed, and it is betting on its software prowess. In 2021, Google DeepMind released software that accurately predicted the shapes that strings of amino acids would fold into as proteins. Those three-dimensional shapes determine how a protein functions. That was a boost to biological understanding and helpful in drug discovery since proteins drive the behavior of all living things. Last month, Google DeepMind and Isomorphic announced that their latest AI model, AlphaFold 3, can predict how molecules and proteins will interact, a further step in drug design. I think prediction sounds a little scary to me, right? That sounds much less like trial and error. I don't know. We're focusing on the computational approach, said Max Jaderberg, Chief AI Officer at Isomorphic. We think there is a huge amount of potential to be unlocked. Terray, like most of the drug development startups, is a byproduct of years of scientific research combined with more recent developments in AI. Dr. Berlin, the chief executive who earned his PhD in chemistry from Caltech, has pursued advances in nanotechnology and chemistry throughout his career. Terray grew out of an academic project begun more than a decade ago at the City of Hope Cancer Center near Los Angeles, where Dr. Berlin had a research group. Terray is concentrating on developing small molecule drugs, essentially any drug a person can ingest in a pill like an aspirin or statins. Pills are convenient to take and inexpensive to produce. Terray's sleek labs are a far cry from the old days in academia when data was stored on Excel spreadsheets and automation was a distant aim. I was the robot, recalled Kathleen Ellison, co-founder and senior scientist at Terray. There she is. Look, it looks like she has a halo. But by 2018, when Terray was founded, the technologies needed to build its industrial-style data lab were progressing apace. Terray has relied on advances by outside manufacturers to make the microscale chips that Terray designs. Its labs are filled with automated gear, but nearly all of it is customized, enabled by gains in 3D printing technology. God, I can't read. Kind of a bad job for someone who can't read, huh? From the outset, the Terray team recognized that AI was going to be crucial to make sense of its stores of data, but the potential for generative AI in drug development became apparent only later though before ChatGPT became a breakout hit in 2022. Narbe Mardirosian, a senior scientist at Amgen, became Teray's chief technology officer in 2020, in part because of its wealth of lab-generated data. Under Dr. Mardirosian, Teray has built up its data science and AI teams and created an AI model for translating chemical data to math and back again. The company has released an open-source version. Teray has partnership deals with Bristol-Myers Squibb and Calico Life Sciences, a subsidiary of Alphabet, Google's parent company, that focuses on age-related diseases, because they want to live forever. The terms of those deals are not disclosed. To expand, Teray will need funds beyond its $80 million in venture funding, said Eli Berlin, Dr. Berlin's younger brother. He left a job in private equity to become a co-founder and the startup's chief financial and operating officer, persuaded that the technology could open the door to a lucrative business, he said. Teray is developing new drugs for inflammatory diseases, including lupus, psoriasis, and rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah! Let's hear it for arthritis. The company, Dr. Berlin said, expects to have drugs in clinical trials by early 2026. Sweet. The drug-making innovations of Teray and its peers can speed things up, but only so much. The ultimate test for us, and the field in general, is if in 10 years you look back and say, you can say that the clinical success rate went way up and we have better drugs for human health, Dr. Berlin said. That's it. Steve Lohr. He's the writer. Well, that's interesting. I didn't realize. Let's see. Demonstrators blocked traffic in Jerusalem to protest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government and call for the release of hostages kidnapped in October. We've got protests happening. Let's see what else is going on. 19 nonfiction books to read this summer. We'll come back to that. Let's see. He's casting a co-star. I don't want to read anybody's opinion. I don't care about your opinions. Putin will visit North Korea. A sign of deepening military ties. I mean, but really, North Korea is all bluster, right? I don't think they really have anything. Going on. Private equity and healthcare. Oh, yeah, it's already there, Badger. It's already there. that ship sailed. There's a ton of private equity in healthcare. Remember, what's her name? The blood girl? Elizabeth? Oh, man, Sand Hill Road, baby. It's the heart of the devil. I'm just kidding. Okay, needing munitions to fight in Ukraine, the Russian president plans to return to North Korea this week for the first time in nearly a quarter century. Oh, I didn't know. A photograph, that's 2000. That's in 2000. Oh, look how he's so tiny. Why are they all so tiny? Why is he so tiny? Look at this. Tiny. I mean, tiny. He's tiny. I think he's tiny. President Vladimir Vladimirovich, will visit North Korea this week for a meeting with its leader, Kim Jong-un, in their second in 9 months. Oh, I didn't know that. As the two countries deepen military ties to support Mr. Putin's war in Ukraine with North Korean weapons. How do they make weapons? What are we embarking on this week? There's not a lot of, on-air action planned. I'm sure there will be some. But yeah. Oh, am I on Top Chat or something? Maybe. My bad. What are we embarking on this week? Oh, it's just terrible. All right, so here we go. So Putin's going to meet with Kim Jong-un. I don't want to read that whole thing. I wanted to read the AI thing, but not that. Okay. Let's see. What? Well, let's just keep going. We have to do the Wordle too, remember? If you don't want to spoil the Wordle, you're going to have to tune out soon. Oh, the Tony Awards. I didn't even watch. High wattage performance. Here are all the Tony winners. I'm not keeping up. A school with 7 students inside the micro schools movement. Interesting. Gilgo suspect. I haven't been keeping up with that Long Beach murder. The Gilgo or some. The Tiny Awards. The Tiny Awards. More women in Africa are using long-acting contraception. Oh. Methods such as hormonal implants and injections are reaching remote areas. That's cool. A bird flu pandemic. Here's what it might look like. Here we go. Bird flu is infecting cats and the occasional dog. Here's what to know. A few reasonable precautions can help people keep their pets safe from the H5N1 virus, experts say. Over the past few months, a bird flu outbreak has spread swiftly through dairy cows in the United States, infecting more than 90 herds in 12 states. Along the way, the virus has caused collateral damage in several other species, spreading from dairies to poultry farms, from cows, and to at least 3 farm workers who developed symptoms of a mild illness. It has also caused mounting casualties in cats. On some dairy farms, sick or dead cats have provided an early signal that something was amiss. They're a bit of a canary in a coal mine, Dr. Cammie Johnson, a veterinary epidemiologist for the Agriculture Department, said at a news briefing on Thursday. Since the dairy outbreak was first detected in late March, at least 21 cats in 9 states have caught the virus, according to the department, which recently began tracking the feline cases. Nothing's live. Well, we'll check, but I don't think so. Scientists have long known that cats are vulnerable to being infected by avian influenza, a group of flu viruses typically found in birds. In 2020, a new version of the bird flu virus, known as H5N1, emerged. It has spread rapidly around the world, infecting wild birds and repeatedly spilling over into mammals, including cats. Domestic cats are highly susceptible, but there's been an uptick. Okay. Sporadic effects of dogs. That's very serious. Few reasonable precautions. Here's what to know. On dairy farms, okay, fine. If you live on a dairy farm, you need to figure out what's happening with your cats. Okay? That's it. There were reports of infected cats, some of which probably caught the virus when they preyed upon infected birds. Okay, so don't let your cats eat birds. Cats infected by the virus often become severely ill, and in some cases, mortality rate has been shockingly high. 38 of 40 cats died. Oh, South Korea. 67% mortality. Okay, so you're not really helping us. This isn't helping us. Where's the... They didn't... Well, oh, how can I protect my pet? Okay, let's get to the bottom line here. You're surrounded by dairy... Okay, you guys gotta be careful. Pets that remain indoors should be exceedingly low risk. Okay. But owners should avoid feeding their pets raw milk or raw meat, which both could potentially transmit the virus. Oh, well, let's go to Rumble. Actually, you know what? We will go to Rumble because I want to look at, because this is when, what's his name is on. This is when Steve Bannon is on. As always, okay, paying attention to local situation. Owners may want to keep their pets indoors more or supervise them. So basically, you just have to... Removing shared food and water sources such as bird feeders and baths may also help curb the spread of the virus. I mean, I guess that's if you have an outbreak. I don't know if you really need to do that for everybody, but I don't know. But first layer would be requiring dairy workers to wear PPE. Yeah, why don't we protect those workers? And then it wouldn't spread. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, wait. I am going to check Rumble because that's a great idea. Let's check Rumble. I go right to live. I don't want to fuck around. Okay, so the War Room's on. Steven Crowder, I can't stand him. Let's see what's happening in the War Room. Ugh. Maybe not. Donald Trump is cracking the code. Oh, Wendy Bell. Crazy. 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 Let's see. Let's go down to the real crazy. Oh, the Kyle Seraphin show. What? He's such a dick. Let's see. Where's his? Oops.
the way when they would do the polygraphs. And now when you start letting people in who do heroin,
you know what's interesting? He has a lot of let me leave him a message.
And eventually he was kicked out of the FBI because they were able only to show some of the malfeasance.
There.
Then he forged a letter.
We left him a message.
He forged a letter and sent it off to the Alabama State Police, and he was hired. The letter was faked, and it said that he had 10 years of credible service or creditable service, and that he was eligible.
Credible service or creditable service? He doesn't know how to read.
That it was.
Okay, Kyle.
He was put in a position of authority.
Hey, Kyle, why don't we talk about Richard Mack's son? Have you met Richard Mack's son, Kyle? Huh? Have you? Richard Mack's son, who was convicted, I think, of child pornography or child something. So I'm going to tell you right now, you better look in your own backyard there, Kylie boy. Kylie Minogue. Let's see. Which one am I? Oh, well, see, this is cheating because this is just 24 hours of nonsense. Oh, here's Mike Flynn's TV station. Here's Mike Flynn's TV. What's wrong with these people?
Right? Wrong.
Oh, I see. It's an ad. Why do I have ads? This is all they can do, folks. All they can do is sell stuff. Okay, I'm... So you can see it's going real well over on the right wing. Yeah, it's going real well. Everybody's doing real well. Everybody's having a good time. Oh, here we go. Let's check in with Mikey Lindell. Let's see what's going on. Mark Paoletta. Ooh, he's a dick. Mark Pauletta's a real dick. Oh, this is the war room. Okay, I don't know. I'm very confused.
Justice Alito's opinion on upholding a statue of a 40-foot cross in Maryland.
I think this guy's kind of scared.
Many years honoring our World War I veterans, right? And guess what? Some lefty crazy group wanted to take it down. And guess what? Alito wrote the opinion saying why it's perfectly fine, okay, under our Constitution to have that.
I think Mark's a little nervous. I think Mark's not having such a great. He's having a very terrible yeah.
So
yes, Pauletta's on War Room.
This was a Christian nationalist
right
opinion,
now.
Right? Or that there's this rising tide of
He's very nervous.
I'll tell you what, there is a rising tide of, right? It's actually a tidal wave, is anti-Semitism, right? Toward the left, towards Jews, that the left is perfectly fine with.
Mark's very nervous.
Jewish Democrat senators, I'd like to see where they are on Hamas, right? Who butchers Jews, who attack.
I don't think anyone's a fan of Hamas. I don't know. I'm
students and people.
I don't think that's really what they said, but okay.
1930s Germany of going after Jewish people.
He's so nervous. What's wrong, Mark? What's wrong? Did you get a subpoena?
Sorry to keep referencing this article because
Mark,
it's so inflammatory.
Yeah, the anti-Semitism towards other groups. Yeah.
And Justice Alito's faith. He wrote the majority opinion in there. It had nothing to do with his faith, right? It had everything to do with what is in the Constitution. That's what these justices do. They apply the Constitution. They're called originalists. Originalists are people who say, what did the Constitution, mean, the words in the Constitution?
All right, hold on, Mark. Oh, that's it. Ginny Thomas. Thank you, gal. Ginny Thomas. That's why Mark Paoletta rang bells. Wait, Virginia, Ginny Thomas's lawyer is Mark Paoletta? As in the Mark Paoletta, who co-editor of Created Equal, Clarence Thomas in his own words, with Michael Pack? The Paoletta who was installed at the Office of Management and Budget, which held up President Biden's transition? That Mark Paoletta? Yeah. Let's see. The Honorable Benny Thompson, Liz Cheney. Oh, lawyer. Yeah. I represent Ginny Thomas. Mark Paoletta. That'd be him. I won't retweet a political operative at the Daily Caller, but here's the link to the full letter, Ginny Thomas's attorney, but also Clarence Thomas's movie maker, and also Trump's transition funding obstructionist letter to the January 6th committee. New, Ginny Thomas has responded to the January 6th committee's official request to testify. Originalism, both telepathy and time travel. And cosplay. Her lawyer is asking the committee to provide a better justification for why her testimony is relevant to the committee's legislative purpose. Oh, well, because she was involved in it. That's pretty much why. It's definitely that, Mark Paletta. Interesting choice. Mutually beneficial attorney-client silence, I suppose. That's a good point. Painfully obvious sedition. Created features Michael Pack. Oh, God. Mark is just so annoying. God, he's annoying. Is this the trailer? Okay, I want to see this.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I do. Please be seated.
We got to get Jenny.
When I was 6, I wandered the streets by myself. You were hungry and didn't know when you'd eat. Someplace in my life, the road split off. I'd gone to the seminary. I'd gone to all-white schools. I was never going to be a part of that world. I was never going to be white. The problem is I could never go back completely to the world I came from. We're supposed to be revolutionaries. We were for anybody who's kind of in your face. I saw what I had become, lashing out at every single thing. And then I asked God that if you take anger out of my heart, I'll never hate again. And that was the beginning of the slow return to where I started.
I want my candidacy to unify our country.
I was under
Seminary.
constant attack. You're not really black because you're not doing what we expect black people to do.
That I will nominate Judge Clarence Thomas to serve as Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court.
That's when all heck broke loose.
Judge Thomas began.
Oh, really? Was that when?
To discuss sex.
Or was it
We
when
know
you
exactly
did this?
What's going on here?
How about that?
This is the wrong black guy. He has to be destroyed. You really didn't matter.
Maybe
What
you were
mattered
just a
was
shitty
what
guy.
they wanted.
So you'd still like to serve on the Supreme Court?
I'd rather die than withdraw from the process.
I remember those days so well.
I wanted to be able to say I lived up to my oath and did my best.
It was disgusting then. I guess God didn't remove his anger. Wow. Okay, so I remember those Anita Hill hearings, and it was angering, and it was unbelievable that he would get approved. It was so fucking upsetting. So I do remember that. People were upset. I don't know. I don't like it. People were really upset. Okay, let's see. What else? Let's see. We got... Oh, wait. I've got some more. You've got other things here. Let me go to this one. Did I go to this one or that one? Let's see. Let me see. Pauletto's first minute of 5. Okay, wait, hold on.
Undermine the legitimacy of the Supreme Court now.
Oh, this is the thing about the ethics, right?
Concerted effort by congressional Democrats and their media allies to undermine the legitimacy of the Supreme Court now that the court finally has a working originalist majority. You don't like the opinions the court is handing down, such as Dobbs and Bruen, so you are smearing the court to encourage the public to question its legitimacy and rulings. This year, we have seen political attacks on Chief Justice Roberts, Justice Thomas, Barrett, Gorsuch, and now Justice Alito.
He's like choking.
This political assault on the court is a dangerous game, as evidenced by the attempted assassination on Justice Kavanaugh and the need for round-the-clock security for the justices.
Oh, I love Oreo cookies. I really do.
Why the allegations against Justice Alito are unfounded. Why the so-called Operation Higher Court is an absurd and classic grift. And why the justice's conduct does not raise judicial ethics concerns, and certainly not compared to the behavior of the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Today's hearing is another in a concerted effort by congressional Democrats and their media allies to undermine the legitimacy of the Supreme Court.
Oh, whoops. Did you? God, Mark, you just repeat yourself.
Majority. You don't like the opinions the court is handing down, such as...
All right, shh. We heard you. This is a very interesting, considering Pauletta's closeness with Thomas, and also likely Tom Fitton. Oh, yeah, right? Has to be. This is from December of 2022. OMB designated its general counsel, Mark Pauletta, its chief FOIA officer from 2019. Oh, wait. I don't even like Oreos, but those thin Oreos are dangerous. I don't know. I'm not really, there is something about their taste that it's easy to eat them. Throwback for I Believe Anita Hill. Oh, yeah. What's that? Oh, Sonic Youth. Okay, I don't want to get yanked. But yeah, okay. No, wait. Sorry. Really? You like Fig Newtons? It's okay, but at least people have the link. No, that's great. Oomph. Thanks for dropping that. Please note the link for Sonic Youth. That's a great link. Thomas is the fat kind. No worries. I totally forgot. But we only played a few seconds. Yeah. Let's see, Max. The thin. I know I have had thin Oreos. Those are dangerous. I don't know. There's something about like the chocolatey taste. Like it's a real, I don't know. I don't like the filling, but I like the chocolate cookie. I know. Soft sugar cookies. I'm not a sugar cookie fan. I love shortbread because I love butter. I think butter is one of the most amazing foods on the planet. You know that? I really do. All right, let's go back to, you have the voicemail somewhere that Jenny left for Anita Hill. Oh my God, gal. That's crazy. All right, so we're going to go back. Is chat turned off? That's what someone said. Sometimes I like to read the chats. Let's see. View all. Let's see if Fathead's on.
Eating proteins.
Oh, I see. This is an ad. Okay, I'm so confused.
Right. Wrong.
Skip.
It's a common myth.
Watch what steak does to your gut.
Okay.
Carnivore diet. Why do people lose
weight?
Protein.
The conference, which was amazing. Here's the thing. People have to understand something in political
love Butterfingers. Yeah,
warfare.
Me too.
There's certain ways you see in certain
Butterfingers.
notes where things get ratcheted up. When a guy who's illegitimate, but their president shows up out in Hollywood to an event that they're going to raise $28 to $30 million, and you have Clooney and Kimmel and these guys, and they bring Obama out. This Obama's deal.
Oh my God.
And Biden, and you've seen the clip. Many people see the clip on Biden. He's absolutely, he's got the hands down like the dementia people. He's a stiff. They got to walk him off the stage. But when he does speak, the centerpiece of his speech, to get their energy back that they've kind of lost out of Dobbs, because a little bit of that is not as intense as it was in
Trader Joe's triple ginger snaps. Oh, I love
the
those.
Supreme Court.
Those are amazing.
He attacks the institution of the Supreme Court.
I love ginger.
No president has ever done that. Not even before the Civil War was some of the not
Did you
maybe
call me
the
a
best
commie?
decisions that came out, like the Scott decision and others that were maybe not the best. You didn't see outright attacks on the institution.
They hate Obama.
The individual justice.
Wait, I'm having some beef here.
This is now
I'm having a beef here. Did you call me a commie?
Campaign. A centerpiece, particularly get these progressive billionaires to write huge checks.
Come on now.
And remember,
I'm trying to pick
left
a fight.
Always comes at things very legalistically. They control the law schools. They control the law faculties.
Are you?
They control the bar associations. You've seen this with John Eastman and Rudy.
What if I am?
They can't give that up. That's their ultimate and last source of power. And they are outraged that we've taken a court that's just not progressive and left-wing, but every Republican puts in another gutless rhino establishment Republican.
See,
and so when they come to D.C.,
I can't get any of these bots to take the
amazing charts. Their decisions get more liberal over time. The more cocktail parties they go to in Georgetown, it's because they get intimidated.
I'm so sorry.
These guys are not, they're not Marine snipers. They're not Navy SEAls. They're not guys
we need to be a little quieter,
not,
Steve. We're yelling.
Physical warriors.
This is all projection. Yeah. Okay.
Now you've got people with Thomas and Gorsuch and Kavanaugh and Justice Alito and Thomas's and Alito's mates who are tough as boot leather and going to do what's right
Boot
for this
leather.
republic and do what's original. They're originalists about the Constitution. That is what's infuriated these people. And they are out to destroy this they're out to destroy the court, and people better see that. And here's my beef. And I ain't no lawyer, but I know there are institutions on the right that have loved the Constitution and praise the Constitution.
Yes.
And have society set up around the Constitution and the legal profession.
Fanning commenting on physical fitness is hilarious.
And institutionally, you've got Jim Jordan that's out there. You've got
Little
Mike Lee
Jimmy
that's done an amazing
Jordan.
job.
Little
You got Rand
Jimmy
Paul, you got
Jordan.
Ted Cruz that's doing a good job.
Little
But
Jimmy
that ain't
Jordan
good
is a
enough.
great little
And it's not
guy.
good enough. Mark Ayotta coming on War Room, and you and I trying to hammer in this thing every day.
Oh,
this
wow.
needs to be the institutions on the right as institutions.
Shh.
Good morning, Anita Hill. It's Jenny Thomas, and I just wanted to reach across the airwaves and the years and ask you to consider something. I would love you to consider an apology sometime and some full explanation of why you did what you did with my husband. So give it some thought. I certainly pray about this and hope that one day you'll help us understand why you did what you did. Okay. Have a good day.
That's crazy. I had never heard that. I have never heard that. Paoletta goes on vacation with Ginny and Clarence. He and his wife wrote a song for them. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. This has got to be exposed. Like, I don't even understand how we live in a world where you've got such obvious corruption coming from fucking Ginny Thomas. Like, just take Clarence out of it. Put Clarence to the side. Like, just think of all the things Ginny is doing, has done, continues to talk about. How is that right? How is that at all okay? And who's the person holding us back from actually following through on investigating and holding people accountable? Like, I don't understand. I don't want to believe that fucking I don't want to believe that Merrick Garland is like asleep at the wheel or whatever. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. I really don't. And I don't know. I don't know how you change that, because I feel like there's definitely people like talking about it. I don't think people aren't talking about it. But I don't know who's the bottleneck. Like, where is it stopping? And who's going to save us? You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that, but you know what I mean? Like, who's the person that comes in and says, no, the emperor has no clothes, and now we're going to like put the emperor in a jumpsuit. I mean, who is the person that does that? And everyone goes, okay, you're right. We got to do that. She says everything and freaking crickets. Who's the head vampire? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't get it. You know, like at this point, I can almost ignore the disinformation type of machine and just go, yeah, okay, I know you exist. You keep going. Nobody can stop you. You know, fuck off. Talk to the hand. And that I can almost deal with. But this kind of like willful disregard of ethics and the law, and I love Jamie Raskin. I love all of them. It's not enough. Whatever they're doing or saying, it's not enough. It's not enough. it sounds almost like politics as usual. I don't want to hear extreme MAGA Republicans again. That to me is the biggest fucking cop out. Every time one of those motherfuckers in Congress says, oh, the extreme MAGA Republicans, stop it. Yeah, they're playing a different field than the actual insurgency. And I don't need them to suspend, rule of law and start just locking people up for thought crimes. I'm not needing that. But call them insurgents and understand that I think a few years ago, we probably had as many moderate or maybe a few moderate Republicans. We have far less. We have no moderate Republicans now. Zero. Absolute zero. Absolute zero. I don't even know what's happening with the media because I do hear them talk about some of these concepts, but at the same time, I don't know what happens then, right? I don't know what happens then. The IDU, that's an interesting concept, Badger. I don't know enough about the IDU. I heard a little bit about like what their whole dealio is, but Cheney Hogan 28. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, right. Oof. That's what they're focused on. Cheney is not a moderate Republican. Oh my God. The minute Cheney became like a reasonable, that reasonable and Cheney were in the same sentence, I knew we were in trouble. I knew it. I knew the Overton window had been pushed. Cheney was the devil. Cheney was the motherfucking devil. Out for himself. And willing to do what it took to retain or gain influence and power. God, I wish the email lady won. Your girlfriend fell and broke her hip on Thursday, got a shiny new one on Friday. Oh my goodness, Paul. Oh, I hope she heals really fast. I hope she heals fast. You meant Liz. No, I know that. No, but I'm saying the Cheney name. Doesn't matter if you mean Liz. Liz is her dad. Liz is her dad. So it doesn't, I know that's who you meant, but I'm just saying a Cheney is a Cheney. And her dad was fucking evil. Incarnate. Like, come on now. This is so stupid. So dumb. I don't trust her either. And then I was listening, so I'm listening to Andrew Weissman's book about the Mueller time. Mueller time. That's what he should have called it, by the way. Andrew Weissman, if you're listening, you should have called it Mueller time. That would have been funnier. I love the movie about Cheney Hart. Yeah. Really wanted. Oh, Paul. I'm so sorry. I know that's hard. But you didn't. And that's cool. I hope she heals fast. It's good that they got her in surgery so fast, I imagine. So we're going to send good vibes, good healing vibes out to the girlfriend. And I hope she's home soon. Now you're going to have to take care of her. You got a lot of work to do. Hopefully it'll be fun. Yeah. So. Boop. Okay, well, let's go through this. This looks like fun. The J6 files. Jenny Thomas. Representation for Thomas Mark Paoletta. Christina Squires. Brandon Strauss and Cher Jaffe. What is that the name of the firm or is that? I guess so. Okay, so this is this. Oh, I see. This is just the cover of the transcript. Ginny was provided the courtesy of not having her interview be video recorded. Oh, wow. My mom had to wait months for a hip replacement. That's what I'm wondering is it must have been an emergency. So that makes... Pursuant to our agreement, there will be no video recording of this. Actually, it seems that Ginny Thomas was not required to swear in either. Oh, is this what license to lie looks like? See third image of Kelly Sorrell. Kelly blocked me when I made fun of her doing the dirty deed with her client. See third image of Kelly Sorrell's interview showing she was sworn in, as were other witnesses who went before the committee. Ooh. This is a transcribed interview. Thanks. This will be a staff-led interview. Raise your right hand. Wait, where does it say that? Is that it? I just saw it. Wait, what did I just see? Okay, great. Those are ground rules. There's an official reporter. Pursuant, there'll be no video recording, be transcribed. We appreciate... Although the interview is not under oath, I want to remind you that it is unlawful to deliberately to provide false information to Congress. Do you understand this? Yes. Yes, I do. Broken hip, they really push them to do things on own. Recovery, one of the fastest. Oh, interesting. I like to show proof. Yep, that's right. Yeah, I know, gal. Yeah, I know. Something I love about you. The receipts. I love that about you. Let's see. Answer them to the best of your ability. Let me see. Let me go back here. I know you've got a lot of stuff there. Oh, my eye. Sorry, I had to give you like sort of. It's okay. It's okay. I'm standing. You just can't see me. Oh, she said yes. She said yes. Kelly Sorrell. All right. Okay. She gives an opening statement of sorts where she claims that her activities regarding the 2020 election were minimal and mainstream. She also doesn't believe the committee's jurisdiction provides them the ability to ask her questions about her husband, SCOTUS Clarence Thomas. Yes, your rigor as documenting investigator distinguishes you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's going to be tough. I know. Paul, you're going to be okay. This too shall pass. That phrase gets me through a lot. I'll tell you that right now. The damn bell curve. I try to pull out the need to know information for the context and encourage people to read things on their own when possible. Yeah. No, you make sense of a lot. See, here's the thing. The whole insurgency is based on obfuscation and cloudy and circular facts. So it is by definition a quagmire. And so any attempt to tease out the most important details and then point back to the source is so appreciated. That's why I love you. It really is. It's why I fell in love with you. Okay, so she also doesn't... Okay, so that's that. However, as my counsel has expressed, I am concerned that there may be more than a few questions about my husband's work, which I do not believe was within the scope of this committee's jurisdiction. That's right. Nebraska Republicans. I can guarantee that my husband has never spoken to me about pending cases in the court. It's an ironclad rule in our house. Regarding the 2020 election, I did not speak with him at all about the details of my volunteer campaign activities, and I did not speak with him at all about the details of my post-election activities, which were minimal in any event. Let me also add, it's laughable for anyone who knows my husband to think I could influence his jurisprudence. The man is independent and stubborn, with strong character traits of independence and integrity. My mom had both replaced but planned them and is in very good shape for her age. Oh, excellent. Among greatest complaints with Legacy Press is their insistence on interpreting a document I'd read better myself if they'd just provide the fucking link. Yes, thank you, Oomph. I agree with that. When you insert yourself as deep into the weeds as we do, a map builds your brain that is hard to explain, but you see the network clearly sometimes. Relaying it can be hard. That's I get very overwhelmed by trying to simplify the description, and I cannot. You have a photographic memory, I think, especially around the names involved. So my mom was dancing 6 weeks after her broken hip. Easily. That's great news. Paul, did you see that? Good news for your girlfriend. Badger. And they are liars too. I'm going to be quiet. You don't have to be quiet, Badger. This is not the room. You need to be quiet. AA ruined a lot of sayings for me. Girl, I hear you. I hear that. Briefly runs through her background: Heritage Foundation, 10 years, Hillsdale College, which is Eric Prince and Betsy DeVos, Liberty Central, a C4, so a charitable foundation, Daily Caller, 7 years, and since 2010, Liberty Consulting is her firm. Liberty Consulting? Like, what does she consult about? Because she really, I mean, is she a lawyer? I suspect that quality will be what ultimately causes their project to fail, Badger. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think it's coming to an end. I will say, perhaps this is a phase thing, right? Where we're in the phase of, we've had some discovery about, like, details have emerged that weren't public before or whatever. So, you know, the Harlan Crow stuff, all that kind of stuff. So maybe we're at the beginning of the time when it changes and we get back to, and we actually do start to hold, we touch the third rail, right? And we hold people accountable that were otherwise untouchable, right? Maybe that's coming. Maybe that's where we're at. That'd be cool. All right. I'm not going to read too much about her background. She has the Signal app, but wasn't using it at the time. When does she use it then? I don't know. Sometime it took me a while. I have a Signal, but I wasn't using it at that time. It also seems that Ginny's attorney decided to skip 8 of the 9 requested line items when producing documents to the committee because, quote, "that's not what I said I was doing here." Wait, I want to read that. Okay, Mr. Paoletta. Can I follow up? Not sure, Mr. Thomas, if the question for the counsel, but understand. And counsel, did you focus just on number 9? Because there are 8 other topics here, and I'm wondering whether you searched for those as well. Mark. Sure. As I said I'm just looking for, let's see. Yeah, right here. We conducted extensive searches of Mrs. Thomas's emails, text messages, and social media accounts for any messages that she sent that were sent directly to her or that included her on email on the CC line, where such messages were sent to or from any individual listed in request number 9 of the committee's document request about any of the topics listed in those requests. What? So it would need to be anyone in number 9 that was about the topics listed in the resolution. What if it was about the topics listed in the letter, but not the individuals listed in number 9? No, I didn't produce it because that's not what I said I was doing here. That's not what I said. He didn't repeat himself. She may have talked to Cleta Mitchell. Cleta and I interacted the other day. Yeah, that's right. I got Cleta's attention. Hey, girl. She wants to... My mom was hiking pretty quick. Oh, that's good. I suspect that quality will be what ultimate... Oh, you said that already. I said that already. We need the House, Senate. Oh, my God, please. Easily from your mouth to whoever is up there's ears. We need the House, the Senate. We need a 60-plus majority, and we need Biden. And then we can... I hope they've been clearing out agencies, though, of people that were loyalists. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that actually had to have something to do with the delays and, just the machinations. Oh, I was going to go back to Andrew Weissman's book. It's really interesting to me. He's just at the beginning when he talks about hearing Bill Barr's letter and just how, by omission and characterization, it was such a lie to the American public. And that's another one. It just made me so angry when I heard that, him talk about it. I guess I just don't understand how you throw. There just used to be rules, right? Like there just used to be rules about how we interacted with each other and what was okay and what was not okay and all that kind of stuff. So I don't get it. I don't really understand anymore. Okay. Sorry. I know. Let's see. I may have had a conversation with Clitta about her coming up here and me coming up here and just commiserating about the times we're in, but that's all. Okay. And what did Miss Mitchell say? I don't remember. That she got COVID at her appearance, and it was uncomfortable for her, but she got through it. Clitta, you had COVID, girl. You had COVID. Should have got that booster. I'll be back to this. In the meantime, let me toss this to you for reference. Ginny's attorney. Oh, this is the one we just read. God, so good. See, this was the time I was off Twitter because I didn't like any of these because I was off Twitter. Huh? Okay. I'm reading Shadow Network right now too. I'm reading 3 books. It's not good. It's not a good idea. I'm reading 2 and listening to 1. Ginny says Frontliners is related to Groundswell, which has had weekly Zoom meetings since 2011. Nothing about what Ginny, Frontliners, or Groundswell does is grassroots. It's all AstroTurf. Frontliners is a group of state leaders that we created, a number of us helped form, who were part of C4 in the grassroots conservative movement. And through their help, whether it's Heritage Action or Tea Party Patriots or Freedom Works or such, we identified valuable conservative activists in most of the states who would enjoy coming together weekly on a Zoom call to talk about things that were interesting to us. I want recordings of those fucking Zoom calls. Do we have those? Gal, do those exist? I wonder. Let's see. How did the group originate? Did you form the group? I was part of it. We all thought it was a good idea, that we were missing the input and connection to state leaders. Why should you have connection to state leaders? Your fucking husband is a SCOTUS. As we met weekly since 2011 with national leaders at Groundswell. So I was a bit connected to the Groundswell group. It was Frontliners and Groundswell were a little bit related. Not that I've seen leaked, but I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if things. I mean, they have to exist. They have to. Where's that brave Zoom employee? Where's that brave Zoom employee who's going to blow the whistle on this? Release the tapes. Release the recordings. Let's see. It was okay. And what was your role within the group? I would say I was an instigator. I was a leader. I was helping them set agendas where I could. Helping them connect people. Helping look for state leaders that were missing that I knew of. It was kind of like that. Oh, Ginny. You're a fucking traitor. John Eastman was personally invited by Ginny Thomas to join one of those Zoom meetings set for the 8th of December. Okay, see, here's the thing. All right, wait, let me think about this. So he talked about Eastman talked about his election integrity groups, right? No, who was it? Oh no, it was one of his idiots that had that was it. It was that old guy. I know there was a bunch of old guys, but it was that one old guy who said he had a listserv, Anyway, sorry. I just got kind of distracted by that. Ginny specifically asked Eastman to give a status update to state leaders of frontliners. You are doing an unbelievably great job at clarifying the situation. Let me see. Oh, God, I can't see that at all. I'm so sorry. That's not going to happen. Thank you for... Aw, Tina. Tina. Let's look at what John Eastman was up to during that time. Wait. Hold on. I got kicked off of Twitter once for good for calling her a cunt. So don't call Laura Ingraham a cunt on Twitter because her fucking bots are on it. They are on it. Okay. The day after the Frontliner Zoom meeting where Ginny invited Eastman to join, John visited with Laura Ingraham to discuss the Texas lawsuit, which was pointed straight at Ginny's husband, Supreme Court. All right, here we go. Let's see.
Breaking tonight, the Supreme Court is giving Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin until 3 p.m. Thursday to respond to an election lawsuit filed today by the state of Texas. The suit arguing that those states violated the Constitution in the process of appointing presidential electors by unlawfully abrogating state election laws. We're also learning tonight that Louisiana is about to join that Texas case. Joining me now is John Eastman, Claremont Institute Senior Fellow, former Supreme Court
Not anymore.
and constitutional scholar.
Not anymore.
For the people out there, tell us why this lawsuit is one that we should be especially all paying attention to, given the thing called original jurisdiction. Not to sound like geeks here, but take it away.
No, but it's great inside baseball. Look, one of the things that most people don't know is, the Supreme Court normally is the appellate court of last resort. But in a couple of types of cases, they have original jurisdiction. And in one of those types of cases, it's original and exclusive. And that group are cases between two states. We didn't want states warring with each other, and they gave this power to settle disputes between the states to the Supreme Court exclusively. So Texas has named Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin for violating election law. Now, the underlying issue there is a terrific one for Supreme Court because it doesn't turn on proof of the allegations of fraud and the Dominion machines and all these other things that are huge evidentiary matters. It turns on a very simple legal question. Did these states conduct an election in violation of their state law? Because Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution says that the body that has the sole authority to create the manner for choosing presidential electors is the legislature of the state. And they do that by their state statutes. And when the Pennsylvania Secretary of State ignores those state statutes,
spitting.
sends absentee ballots out contrary to those state statutes, doesn't do voter identification or signature checking,
I think he's sweating, too.
statutes, those violations of statutes that were designed to prevent fraud are enough to trigger the federal constitutional violation that Texas has alleged.
So now the briefing schedule is what it is. It's very expedited. Does that mean the case will definitely be heard by the court, or could they still kick it out?
They could still kick it out. The way original jurisdiction works, the court has claimed to have, even on state cases, some discretion on whether to take it or not. So Texas had to file a motion for leave to bring this original action, and that's what the defendant states have been asked to respond to.
What's your gut?
I think they said it so quickly because.
What's your gut? Will they take it?
My guts, they're going to take it. My guts, they're going to take it and look at it on the merits. See, this is an extremely important legal issue that the Supreme Court has already twice in our history said if election laws of the state are not followed, that violates the federal Constitution. They did that in Bush versus Gore, and they said that back in 1892 in a case called McPherson versus Blecker.
Well, John, this is fascinating. This is the case, I should say, that I've been waiting for, and I can't wait to see where it goes. John, thank you so much tonight.
Sorry, John. That didn't work out for you, did it? I don't look. I know about Charlemagne, but I don't listen to that radio program, so I don't keep up with everything that's happening. But yeah, I know that there's been some controversy recently or something. And the day after that, he went on Newsmax to discuss the Supreme Court and the fraudulent electors to be lined up for December 14th. Let's not forget that John Eastman once clerked for Judge, you guessed it, Clarence. That's not my wife. That's my handler. I just report into her. That's not my wife. That's my boss. Thomas. Oh, boy.
Next week, early next week, I think the 14th.
Oh, Greg Kelly.
Is the day the
Such a
Electoral
dork.
College meets. We've been debating about this here. My view is January 20th is the only date I believe in the Constitution that's absolutely steadfast mandatory. Some of this other stuff is flexible. But do you see next Tuesday when the Electoral College convenes, does their thing?
Not flexible.
Is that the deadline?
That's wrong.
Well, no, actually,
This guy
the 14th. But look, we've got one
got off a
president
rape
in
charge
recent
because
history
his
on this,
dad was the head of
1960
NYPD
the
or
electors
something
for
like that.
Nixon, who had been certified, met on the assigned day and cast their votes. The Michigan election officials subsequently found more ballots for Kennedy and recertified the
No,
Kennedy slate of
1960
electors, who had
wasn't
also
the same
met on their own on that
situations.
day and
It
cast
just
their own
wasn't.
votes. And when the joint session of Congress met in early January and opened those votes, the presiding president of the Senate, who happened to be Richard Nixon, counted the Kennedy votes from Hawaii. So
Not the
that
same
occurred
situation.
after
It was a
the date the
recount
electors
underway.
cast their votes, and I
It
think
was
that's
an
right. If the Supreme
acknowledged
Court says,
collaborative decision
a slate of electors
by
was
the
chosen
Republicans and the
then
Democrats.
obviously that can't be the determining factor in the
Debunked.
election.
Debunked.
Okay. So at this point,
Hey, Sharon.
what
Well,
are the
we've just
mechanics?
been going
How's it
over
gonna go down?
news.
Are you waiting for a phone call?
Nothing
at
really
any
big.
minute? I mean, like, how are we going to find out their decision? What's going to happen? And answer that first, if you don't mind.
Well, the Supreme Court asked the 4 states to have their briefs in opposition in by 3 o'clock today, and they were all in. And I suspect the Supreme Court's going to meet in conference tomorrow to decide whether to grant Texas's motion to file the original action. And then they'll confront the issue like President Trump's motion to intervene. If they grant that Texas motion,
Yeah,
they'll
no
set a
biggie.
briefing schedule.
You know, the usual.
They could even appoint a special master to look at some of the underlying allegations of fraud. It's an original action.
Her
so they're
brother
here
doesn't
acting
even
like
like
a
her.
trial court, which is not their normal role. Normally, they end up
Who's her
appointing a
brother?
trial judge
Oops. Who's her
to
brother?
serve as special master to try and sort through the evidentiary issues. But the principal legal issue is that states, and they acknowledge this, they violated their own state laws or ignored their state laws that were put in place to protect against.
No, that's not true. So that's not true. There, you know, one of his big claims. Well, he just jumped around from one claim to another. Is what John Eastman did, because John Eastman, and I know you know this, but I'm just saying it for the people who may not know. John Eastman, his dream was to be the smartest, most beloved constitutional lawyer in the history of constitutional lawyers. That is, I think, what motivates John Eastman. So I think he wanted to be a true believer that this, and he just didn't pay attention to the data that he was being given. He just went with it because what his dream was to be one of the most popularist, wonderfulest, beloved, honored, constitutional expert that's ever been. That's what he wanted. And probably a Supreme Court seat. But that's what I believe. That's what I believe really drove him. I don't even think it was money per se. I think it was, because I don't know how much, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I guess. But I think this was ego. I really, really believe that with John Eastman. I think this was his ego. And he thought, this is it. I'm going to turn the Constitution on its head and be known as the smartest guy ever. Ladies will be throwing themselves at me. So I don't know. It might be money. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But it just seems all evidence points to someone who really, really wanted to believe that he was going to turn things upside down. You know, kind of the same thing I think with Mike Flynn is that Mike Flynn seems to be driven by ego. He loved being honored at this movie event that I went to. He soaked it in like it was like he was one of those what's those Harry Potter things that come and, you know, suck out your soul. What are they called? Whatever. Anyway, he's one of those. So I think he just wants to be like the king. Yeah, Eastman is definitely all ego. Yeah. It's a slow, hard crash. That's a good way of putting it easily. So maybe we're just in the beginning phases of that. And I don't know. I feel like the details are so hard to ignore, right? Like, I feel like that's what will save us, is the fact that the details are just so hard to ignore that you just can't put your head in the sand, right? Like, I feel like that has to, at some point, that has to win out. I don't know. Stuart Rhodes, convicted of seditious conspiracy. All right. Let's see. What time is it? I got to keep an eye on the time here. 8. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap. Lots of beautiful links in this chat. Please visit them. Thank you for coming to my Wake and Bake. I'm going to go do some serious baking now and see what happens in the world. But tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, everything in between and outside. We're going to have a Twitter space with the friends. So please come and listen in on, or come and speak on the Twitter space. It's just a chill space. We just want to start the week off right, get our heads straight, you know, just focus. So come and join us on Twitter tonight, and just hang out, and maybe we'll laugh, and you never know what'll happen. You never know who'll show up. Last week, Brent Allpress showed up. Heidi was there. Jackie Singh was there. I mean, like, a lot of people show up to the space. It's fun. It's fun to hear from these people and their work that they're doing. So that was great. I particularly enjoyed hearing from Brent. I don't hear from him all the time. So it was nice to hear some of his perspective on the schism between the Pope and evangelicals and things like that. So yeah, so come and we'll just laugh. We'll just laugh. You know, or it'll be a big awkward silence and we'll just be doing nothing, and then we'll, you know, awkwardly end it. Just kidding. Anyway, and then I got to get back to reading. Maybe I'll do some reading tonight after this. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But it would be nice if I could get my act together and we could get through some of these books, because there's so many books I want to read. I still haven't started the oil book. Oh, too many. All right. Have a great Monday. I hope your week is fucking fantastic. Watch the channel, because there will be things coming. There hasn't been a lot of like stuff to put on. So please make sure you, you know, check in with the channel, the Chan. Okay. All right. I think you guys are awesome. Have a wonderful day, and don't go changing. Okay. Thanks.